Today I'll be treating you all to a rare and festive treat, a Christmas special which I hold very dear to my heart. It's a traditional stop-motion animated TV special that employs incredible use of its craft and involves a well-known Christmas carol about a young reindeer with a shiny red nose. And if you guys think I'm going to talk about Rudolph, then you just got totally punked. Will Vinton's Claymation Christmas is definitely one of the greatest and most underrated Christmas specials of all time. It's a personal family classic that's all about celebrating the holiday for everything it's worth. I wasn't kidding when I said it involves a Christmas carol about a reindeer. In fact, it employs several of the most well-known Christmas carols. Who is this Will Vinton character anyway? Folks, it's time for a little history lesson. Aside from sporting the greatest handlebar mustache this side of William Howard Taft, Will Vinton is considered to be one of the greatest pioneers in what we now know as Claymation, which is the art of animating using clay models with a stop-motion camera. In 1975, he won the Academy Award for his short film Close Mondays, and by the 80s he had his own studio. He worked on feature film animation, Emmy Award-winning primetime specials, and some of the weirdest, most awesome commercials from back in the day. You may remember the California Raisins? Yep, that was him. Will Vinton's Claymation Christmas was his 1988 Emmy Award-winning TV special, which I personally consider to be the climax of his career. What sets this special apart from every other Christmas special ever made? The format. Most Christmas specials utilize two painful cliches. One, the story involves Christmas being in danger and in need of saving, or two, it's a poorly conceived remake of A Christmas Carol. And while there have been exceptional uses of these formulas, the vast majority of the specials that follow these cliches are vapid, time-wasting, and completely unnecessary. Claymation Christmas spits in the eye of these cliches by saying, "Who needs a story? Let's just sing Christmas carols." And that's all it is, a cabaret of Christmas carols with their own unique take on each song and hosted by a red T-Rex and a Triceratops with an appetite. Yeah, a Christmas special with Christmas music hosted by a T-Rex and a Triceratops. I realize just now how weird that sounds, but strangely enough, it works. Whatever gave him this idea? Again, time for a history lesson. In 1980, Vinton made a short film called Dinosaur, a short educational video which was later expanded into Dinosaurs, starring Fred Savage, that was shown at the Smithsonian Institute. This educational film had a short segment with a Triceratops and a T-Rex, who would later become regular characters in Vinton's body of work. And that, dear viewers, is why there exists a Christmas special hosted by dinosaurs. Even though in reality they'd have been long dead by the time the holiday was started. But enough with the history, let's actually watch this thing and see what makes it so great. The special starts off in a Times Square with the beautiful Christmas decorations and our two hosts, Rex and Herb, doing what they do best, arguing.
We're gonna hear some really wonderful music. Right, Rex?
Thank you, Herb.
Rex is a smart guy who with all the know-how on each Christmas carol featured in the show, and Herb is basically the goofy fat guy who keeps trying to skirt off hosting duties so he can feed his stomach. There's also a constant running gag where crowds of random carolers come by singing the wassail song and butcher it in their own unique way.
Here we come a-waffling along a Lisa Green.
Here we come a-waddling so fair to be seen.
Here we come a-waddling so fair to be seen.
It's wassailing, I tell you, it's wassailing!
Yeah, you'd never expect a T-Rex to be such a perfectionist. But when it comes to introducing each act, these guys do a great job bouncing off each other with their combination of historical trivia and witty banter.
The ringing of the bells at Christmas time is a holdover from early midwinter celebrations. When the earth was cold and the sun was dying, evil spirits were very powerful.
And one of the ways to drive evil off was by making a great deal of noise. This isn't driving you off.
But what really makes this special is the musical numbers. Each rendition is lovingly performed with gorgeous visuals and comical elements. You never know what to expect because each number has the potential of throwing the viewer a creative curveball. Take We Three Kings for example. It starts out with a traditional sounding vibe to it, but once the chorus comes around, holy smokes, the camels are singing. I repeat, the camels are singing. And not only that, but they sound awesome. It's like, forget these old school opera crooners, I want to see some camels getting jive, brother. Or how about the Carol of the Bells? A bunch of anthropomorphic bells whacking themselves to the conducting of Quasimodo. Yeah, nothing weird going on here. Performance is fine, everything's okay, and then... Whoops. Looks like their C note is a little too flat. I could go on describing each performance in this special, but I'll just show you the ones I like best. The Joy to the World number is absolutely gorgeous. They take you inside a stained glass window on the side of a church, and next thing you know, you're in the middle of a psychedelic mind freak listening to the greatest rendition of Joy to the World ever recorded.
Joy to the world. Let earth receive her king.
I mean that with every syllable. This is just a funky, soul-filled rendition that just makes you want to groove and trip out every time you hear it. Absolute magic. Now the last segment in the show is also worth mentioning. The final act is a number with the California Raisins singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in a way that only Motown could have produced. It's a humorous adaptation of the song, but with what I know now, I kind of think about it a little bit differently. It's well known that the character of Rudolph is copyright protected, but the song has been covered by many artists, including the Temptations. I wonder if sometime early on in the production of the special they wanted to include Rudolph as a character in this segment, but couldn't due to the copyright. I mean, they don't even have a reindeer here, just a raisin man being treated like one. Yeah, Raisin Man being treated like a reindeer. You know something? Dinosaur is hosting a Christmas special, singing camels, a duo of ice skating walruses, and now this. From an adult perspective, this just gets weirder and weirder and weirder. But that doesn't make it bad. In fact, it just makes it more awesome. The last thing I enjoy most about this special is the spiritual backdrop. See, most Christmas specials even today don't focus on the religious aspects of the holiday. They don't seem to realize that the holiday started 2,000 years ago thanks to a certain awesome dude who was born in a manger. No, they just prefer to remain bland and homogeneous. But Claymation Christmas has the gall to acknowledge the spirituality of the holiday, and that's what makes it rise above the rest. And can somebody please put this soundtrack back in print? Seriously, it can't be that hard to make it a digital download. So that's Will Vinton's Claymation Christmas and all of its awesome weirdness, but we're not quite through yet. This special was released on DVD with 2 other specials that I'd never seen before. So I thought, hey, awesome, more magic from the Will Vinton powerhouse. It may not be as good, but hey, at least it could be decent, right?
You know, shark attacks are actually quite rare.
Not so much so. Check in with me next time, but until then, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.